Hi guys, back here again to talk about some dolls. If you happen to be new here, this is my channel where I like to talk all about fashion dolls. And this year is a little recurring segment where I just go over new or upcoming fashion doll releases, and I give my thoughts, my opinions that you are absolutely free to agree with or be wrong about, because that's fine too. I should probably point out that was a joke. You are absolutely free to disagree with me. It's fine. I'm not gonna be mad. Barbie might be, though. You know how she is. But yeah, pretty self-explanatory as far as videos go. Before we do get started, I do just want to say a huge thank you to everyone because I recently just hit 70,000 subscribers. I promised myself I wouldn't get emotional in this video. I'll save that for 75,000, but I really did just want to say thank you to everyone who watched a video of mine and listened to me talk and actually decided they wanted to see more of me, so shout out to all of you. But yeah, let's take a look at those dolls. Before we do get into it though, we do have a word from today's sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by Aura. Doing just a quick Google search of myself, I actually found a lot of websites that claim to know a lot about me. And as someone who, tries to be very conscious of online safety, that's not the most comfortable feeling in the world. With data brokers trying to sell personal information, and that could mean your name, your address, health records, relatives, all of that, to scammers, spammers, and anyone else who might want to target you, it's really important to do what you can to protect yourself. That's why I've been using Aura. Aura shows me which data brokers are selling my information and automatically submits opt-out requests for me, which cleaning up my information like that not only serves to reduce the spam I get, but it also protects me from hackers who could actually use this information to gain access to my social media, my bank accounts, and other sensitive information. Fortunately, Aura is also super easy to set up. You don't have to download several different apps to get things like antivirus, VPN, password management, parental controls, identity theft insurance, etc. It's all right there for just one affordable price. You might already be using one or two of these things, but Aura helps keep everything secure. Aura is always on there in the background to help keep me safe. I value my privacy, and I value yours. You can go to aura.com/darlingdolls to start your 2-week free trial, also linked below in the description. Thanks so much again to Aura for sponsoring this video. Let's get back into it. As always, I do like to start with my good friend, Barbie. To start off, there's actually some more of those fashionistas, the 65th anniversary ones that kind of serve as tribute dolls to iconic dolls from the past. And the first group of these I saw, I mean, to be honest, I hated them. I thought they were just awful. These, I don't know, maybe they're growing on me because I don't think they're that bad. I do think using them as tribute dolls is kind of, I don't know, just fundamentally strange, I guess, because it's not like Golden Dream Barbie or Totally Hair Barbie had like extremely elaborate, complicated outfits to begin with, So to see them toned down this much, I don't think it really gives what they wanted to go for. There's some tribute kins too, though, which is fun. I think the Totally Hair one is actually arguably one of the better dolls of this batch, but I don't know, I don't like when they give Ken facial hair very much. There are some Barbie signature dolls released through Mattel Creations, celebrating the 2024 Super Bowl. Ew. And I know a lot of people are very excited for this one. Alan is getting a Silkstone reproduction doll to celebrate his 60th anniversary, coming out on Valentine's Day, and he'll cost $55, which I think is pretty standard for dolls made with the Silkstone material, if maybe just a little steep. But I know a lot of people have been on their hands and knees begging Mattel to release an Alan, and he looks like a pretty good reproduction too. I mean, if literally nothing else, you can always count on Mattel to at least put out a decent reproduction, right? So moving on from Barbie, we actually have a new doll brand to talk about that should be dropping pretty soon, I think. So from Sephia, who you might know from Zuzu Pets, is releasing a line called Decora Girls, which, if you know me, you know that I do consider J Fashion to be another really big hobby of mine alongside fashion dolls. So I'm definitely looking at these with like a comically sized magnifying glass, in a good way. There's a lot of reasons I'm pretty excited for these. Not only do I think they managed to capture the spirit of Decora pretty well, I think the dolls themselves are really cute. A little more stylized than what I usually go for, but still really cute. And the Magic Mixies Pixelings have also recently taught me that I do actually kind of really enjoy dolls that are sort of on this smaller scale. But thankfully, there's going to be dolls that are more like traditional fashion doll scale too. I don't have pictures of these yet. I don't think they've necessarily been released to the public, and I don't want to get in trouble for using images I don't have permission for. But you can see pictures of all the upcoming dolls in a video I'll link down below. Christina, a YouTuber I've followed for a while now and actually have quite a lot of admiration for, recently made an entire video about being hired as a consultant for the Decora Girls brand, which is another reason I'm really excited for these. They're obviously like committed to doing their research and engaging with the community, which I just really love to see, so I'll absolutely be keeping a close eye on them. And next, we gotta talk about Integrity Toys. And I feel like I perhaps owe IT a little apology. Just a little one. Because I have spoke a lot about how they just haven't really been impressing me this year. And I guess they just took that personally. Because these latest releases, I don't know, something hit just right, I guess. So first is the collaboration with Cold Carbon, who is an immensely talented doll customizer. I'll leave their Instagram down below. Also, really cool to see IT collaborating with artists in the community. Anyways, these dolls are incredible. They're not the kinds of dolls I usually go for. Like, I'm more fond of the very glamorous, very feminine, flouncy sort of aesthetic. But like, come on, I can still absolutely recognize an incredible design when I see one. In fact, I think that's why I like these so much. They're a little out of the box when it comes to Integrity Toys, but they were just executed so perfectly too. I think between the two, Jordan, who is the female doll, is the stronger one. And don't get me wrong, they're both great, but she just looks so perfect. They absolutely nailed the aesthetic they were going for. The clothes look incredibly well crafted. The layering is really well done. I truly, like, I don't think I have anything bad to say about these dolls. Also, the accessories are amazing too. The hats, the pistols with the holsters, like, just really great all around. Also from Integrity, the 5th and final W Club exclusive doll for this year, which comes from the New Fantasy line. Y'all, oh my god, never in my life have I been so grateful to be a member of the W Club. I got the email announcing this doll. I remember it so clearly. I had just woken up. It was like 3 p.m. Yeah. And I checked my email first thing and like immediately just like shot up in bed. She's stunning. She is so incredibly beautiful. And I know I'm biased. I see anything even vaguely mermaid related and it's like instant stars in my eyes, but this is genuinely one of my favorite dolls that Integrity Toys has ever done. And it's a little surprising too, because I didn't expect them to veer so heavily into a fantasy sort of territory. They usually seem pretty uncomfortable with doing so, but I think these last few dolls are good signs that IT is very much capable of more exploration and experimentation, I suppose. But yeah, the only piece I don't really love is that knee-length ruffled skirt. I know what it's going for, but it just doesn't really hit for me. I do really like the second outfit, though, with the gold boots and the feathered train. I wish it wasn't sequined, actually, but it's not so bad. But I just love her. I love her so much. She's giving me the high fashion aquamarine fantasy I didn't know I was so desperately wanting. She even kind of looks like Sarah Paxton in the face, actually. Or maybe I am just the most delusional person on Earth right now. I don't know. But let me have this. So we have quite a lot to cover from Monster High this time around. First thing I want to talk about, the Fangvote Gennifier doll. So, as of me recording this, we've been through the 2 rounds of voting, but we haven't seen the result yet, which I think gets announced actually like in a few hours. So, I'll just put her here while I'm editing this in the future. But regardless of what combination wins, it actually doesn't really change what I want to say about her, because I think she is a stunning, incredible, gorgeous doll regardless. I want to give credit where credit is due, because Annalise Lau did an amazing job designing this doll, and also designing all these options that, like, it really doesn't matter what gets picked because they're all so good. I would absolutely recommend looking at her stories on Instagram about the Fangvote doll, because they really give a lot of insight into her inspiration and her creative process, and it really made me appreciate the doll even more. And I already appreciated her a lot, mind you. You can just tell this was an incredibly personal project for her, and also Annalise is just such an amazing designer. Like, hands down, probably one of my all-time favorites in the industry right now. She just has such a skill for bringing fashion to Monster High, while still retaining the kind of camp and fun and whimsy that I really love about the brand. I am also really grateful for the changes that Mattel made to the Fangvote system from the process of last year's. It just really helps actually being able to see these options presented on an actual doll rather than just an illustration. And it's nice that the doll will be available for everyone too. I don't know how much is going to change in like the manufacturing process, and trust me, I never ever thought I would say this about a Mattel Creations product. Never in my entire life, but I do think the price, $90, is actually pretty fair. Like, this is the kind of doll I would very happily pay that much for. It's unfortunately going to be a little while before she's released, but man, I'm so excited. Next, we finally have a picture of the upcoming Caddy Noir doll for Generation 3, and I think she's cute. I do have similar feelings towards her that I did for Venus, actually, where I just feel like maybe something is missing. It's a cute outfit, but it just feels a little incomplete. I think maybe I'm just not a huge fan of those sleeves. It's a little, like, Barbie fashionistas-ish, if that makes sense. I think a fur coat or, like, a bright pink leather jacket would have pulled everything together a lot better than these sleeves do, but that's just me. I don't work at Mattel, and if anyone from that company has watched my videos, I don't think I'll ever work at Mattel. All that said, I do want to say I'm extremely happy to see Mattel diversifying the range of body types in G3 even further than what we already had, and I think it's really nice to see this body type, specifically, on a character that's supposed to be this very glamorous, fashionable pop star. Okay, one last nitpick. I wish the boots were painted more than they are. I swear, I do like her, I'm just a Virgo, so I complain about everything. Next, another line from G3, Monster Fest. And when I first heard about this line, I was actually a little wary, because I know music festivals are kind of a popular theme for fashion dolls, but I also think the kind of fashion associated with music festivals is pretty dated, and Monster High is not really known for having their finger on the pulse of fashion trends, so to speak. But I am pretty pleasantly surprised where they took it. I think the dolls are all really cool. I might as well just go through them all. First is Cleo, who I really like. For every doll, I'm really impressed with the paint on their headdresses and like the little details we got with those. I wish that translated all the way through, like on her belt, but I can't win them all, I guess. But yeah, Cleo's got some really cool pieces, and I love her accessories in this line a lot. She's not the big standout for me, but she's definitely well done. Frankie, I really like, but I think I always really like Frankie. I love the color scheme. I love the little raver elements that were snuck in here and there, like the necklace. I think they probably have some of the more clever design choices. Again, it's just the belt. I love the sculpt and the design of it a lot, actually, but everything else on them is so well painted and detailed, and then they just have this big chunk of green plain plastic right in the middle, you know? Laguna is probably my favorite. Her outfit is definitely a little simpler compared to the others, but I don't think that's a bad thing. I'm mostly just really enchanted by her face. And that's another thing. I really like the very bold makeup choices throughout this entire line. But I think her headdress is gorgeous too. I do think the overskirt will look a lot better in person than it does when it's photographed. I mean, I could be wrong though, for all I know it could look so much worse, but I hope not. And Claudine is also really, really good. For her, my favorite part is probably her shoes. And this is what I was asking for, right? I needed G3 to up their shoe game. And they're definitely getting there. And her belt being unpainted does not actually look that bad with this outfit. Also, I love the color choice they're going for here too, in her hair. Maybe I'm just happy to see them really do away with that like silvery pink color they kept giving her, but it just complements this whole look really, really well. Okay, and one last thing from Monster High. The new core refresh dolls for Cleo, Frankie, and Laguna. And if you don't know, these are essentially updated signature looks for the core cast. Jackie Laura and Claudine got some that were already released, and these should be coming out pretty soon too. Overall, I do think my thoughts on these are a little more positive than they were for Jackie Laura and Claudine, which my thoughts on them weren't negative per se, but I did just have a lot of little nitpicks. So, Laguna. I like this design. I really like the hair, and I think overall it does suit Laguna's personality. Also, I've said this before, but I'm really happy to see more pants lately. Like, just jeans and pants in general, and no biker shorts, right? It's a miracle. I do wonder if maybe she needs a jacket or something too. I mean, I'm not like torn up about G3 not including an extra outfit piece anymore, but there are certain outfits that just feel like they were designed with another piece in mind. But yeah, overall pretty good. Oh, also, love the jellyfish bag. One of my favorite accessories G3 has done so far. Frankie, I'm more mixed on. I love the makeup. I love the colors overall. I actually do like the outfit. It's just, you know, I think it comes down to the shirt. The bright pink with the lightning bolt pattern just feels a little too juvenile, perhaps. And it kind of throws the balance of everything else off because there are some really cool pieces here, the jacket in particular. I think if it was just like a white button-up, collared, cropped in the same place, that would have looked so much better. I also have to point out the fishnet stocking, which, trust me, I love an asymmetrical sock moment, but it is capri length. Why? Why do we keep doing this? Not a bad doll, but I think I do actually prefer Frankie's first signature to this one personally. Then there's Cleo, and I think she probably has my favorite transition from signature to refresh doll, because I already have a positive opinion of Cleo's original doll, but this one definitely feels like they took everything I liked about that doll and dialed it up just enough to get this one. One thing I really like, and it's kind of hard to see in the stock images, but her shirt has some like texture to it, so it does look pretty like bandagey, opposed to just having this bandage pattern printed on like plain cotton. So I think that was a pretty smart design choice. So overall, I think G3 is getting to a pretty good spot. It feels like they are listening to criticisms to some extent, and like I'm always gonna have nitpicks and complaints, but it just feels nice to know they're being heard and addressed. Not like for me, personally, I don't think Mattel pulls up my videos and is like, okay, what does Cammy say we need to change? I just mean in general. But yeah, that's pretty much everything I had on my list for today. It is now, of course, your turn. Tell me which of these dolls you are most excited for, which ones you think you'll be buying, and which ones you'll be skipping out on. Whatever your opinions are, whether you agree or disagree with me, I want to hear them. And when you're done with all that, just be sure to like and subscribe for any future fashion doll content. Now go out and get those dolls.